Hey everyone, so on this week's episode of this Rig Rundown series, I'm going to talk to you about my gold top here. So this is a 2019 Gibson Les Paul Gold Top Tribute. Whew, that was a lot to remember. But this is actually kind of an interesting one because, you know, going into the specs right away, this is the only one that I've really, like, modded, I guess you could say. First things first, you know, I guess the main thing you would notice is the pick guard. I took that off. Just, you know, it's kind of a cool aesthetic because it really kind of lets that gold shine through. I really like how it looks. And the other thing that I did is I actually swapped out the pickups for a Slash's signature set. So these are actually Slash's Seymour Duncan pickups in here. And they have a great sound. And actually it's kind of cool because this, there's kind of a cool story, you know, that I'll go into right now. That kind of coincides with Slash and kind of this guitar. So it started out, so going to the beginning of the day, it started out fantastic because I had my alarm set for 5:30 in the morning. Because during the night, Slash's latest album at the time, Living the Dream, you know, came out. So I was really excited about it, and I wanted to listen to it before school. So I had my alarm set for 5:30 in the morning, you know, got ready for school, had everything ready at the door, and came down here at like, you know, still early in the morning, cranked up my speakers, you know, played the album all the way through. And I loved it, you know, one of my favorite riffs of all time that he's done. It's Call of the Wild. And, you know, the whole album is just fantastic. So I was already in a great mood heading into school that morning. You know, I had the new album blasting through my hearing aid, walking through the halls, you know, it's like, this is great. And then, actually, I left a little early that day and headed down to Indiana because me and Mom were doing some speaking down there over the weekend. So, you know, got to leave school a little bit early too that day, so it was even more great. It's like, how could this day get any better? And it did. So so my grandparents actually, they live like 20 minutes away from Sweetwater Sound, which is in Fort Wayne, Indiana, right? So, you know, on the way to Indianapolis, we stopped by there and, you know, met up with them for, like, lunch and stuff. You know, it was good to see them and say hi. And then we left and we started to head, you know, to the city. And got a phone call from Dad. And I remember this really well because I'm like, oh, you know, he's just checking in to see where we're at, you know, what's going on. And, you know, he was on speakerphone, and him and Mom were, like, dropping hints, like, hey, you know, your birthday's coming up here shortly, and, you know, might be time for a new guitar, because at the time I only had the SG, which, you know, I've been playing for quite a few years. Like, maybe, you know, it's time for a new one. So, sure enough, you know, we passed Sweetwater Sound and pull into the parking lot, and it's great, because if you don't know Sweetwater Sound, you know, they have the sales reps and all that. You know, the customer service is outstanding. So Mom had already been in contact with, you know, one of the sales reps, and they had a few guitars kind of picked out that they thought would be great. So the cool thing about the tribute, the Les Paul tributes, or at least this one, is it's weight relieved. So it's like, you know, it's got the look and all that, but it won't kill your back. And if you're a tiny guy like me, that's great. Let's see. And so, yeah, so they had a couple of the tributes aside, but I kind of knew as soon as I saw this, I'm like, the gold just looks too cool, you know, it immediately drew me in. So, you know, picked this one out, got it, and then headed down to the city, and, you know, I played it in the hotel room all weekend and couldn't wait to get home and plug it in. So that's kind of the main story behind this thing, and I love it because, you know, learned a bunch of the new tunes off of Living the Dream. You know, went back and learned some older Slash tunes as well. So it was just a lot of fun. And talk about, you know, a lot of cool stuff packed into one day. And yeah, so like I said, again, this is the only guitar that I've really kind of modded, you know, put the Slash pickups in there and took the pick guard off. But, you know, that's nothing too crazy, right? So I guess that kind of sums it up. And sound-wise, you know, the pickups are low output, so it's not like super high gain, but it's just kind of nice sound. your middle position. Doesn't quite have that Jimmy Page honk that I love, but it's still kind of a cool, kind of warmer sound. And then with your neck pickup, it's, you know, it's just sweet and warm. You know, roll it down a little bit and it really starts to get kind of sweet. So yeah, I mean, I use this guitar kind of like exclusively all for like 2019. I went on tour with it for School Rock All Stars. So you know, me and this guitar have been through a lot. It's always going to be a special one to me. So I guess that kind of sums that one up. Like I said, it was just a really, it's a really cool story, and it really was a great day. So I know this was a little long, but thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next week for the next episode. Take care, guys.